Joining us in the Informa studio, Bernadine Voss, who I remember a long time being the Mayor of Port Phillip, but these days she's the CEO of a brand new startup. It's called Waven. Bernadine, welcome.
Thank you, George.
Talk to me about Waven. Now, I do remember vaguely hearing that years ago you were a tech whiz in those very early days when so many people didn't know what tech was. Robin Foister, who does an interview with us each and every week on The Informa, is the founder of Women Love Tech. We need to put you guys together because you've come up leading a charge with a whole bit of brand new technology, which is Waven. Come on, take us through it. Explain to me what it is and why it should be on each and every device, or probably already is. We just need to activate it.
Yeah.
You're telling me it's a magnificent new style electronic or digital passport.
Yeah, it is. So Waven is a fantastic company. Managed to convince me to come on board.
Wow. So you were headhunted?
Yeah, I finished up at council and I thought, I was going to use my experience on council to sort of have a new life. And basically I've ended back up with what I was doing before council.
Back to the source, huh?
That's it. So starting up, running small startup IT companies.
Now the idea is tremendous. A digital passport. The government is telling us, the federal government is telling us that if we're going to get past the lockdowns, if we're going to get past travel again, we're all going to need digital passports to signify that one, we've been vaccinated, two, where we come from.
Yeah.
Basically tell the world who we are and that we're safe and we're not radioactive. Is this the idea of Waven?
So Waven really was born during COVID. It was a way of finding it better, faster, easier and contactless way of tracking what people are doing and where they're going.
I like the contactless way because so many people, they see a bit of paper, they see a pen and they're transfixed. It's like, what do I do now?
Well, it's not only that, you're touching the pen and also the privacy.
Let's not go there.
Yeah, the privacy, like you can see all the names and addresses. So there's so many issues and that's where this whole idea was founded. So it's private, it's secure, and it actually addressed a lot of the issues at the time. So once you enter your details and register who you are, you never have to do it again. So wherever Waven is, it's actually
activates.
It's a mobile passport on your phone and that actually tracks. Gives the information to the government should they need it for contact tracing.
But it's actually has the potential to go way beyond that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
You guys keep adding to not the puzzle, but the technology.
Yeah.
And this is super exciting because, as you touched on, it's available now and allows you to travel the world with something meaningful and something that I suppose is not able to be easily duplicated. So we hear about entities like using blockchain, for example, because they can't tamper with it. Can you tamper with Waven?
Absolutely not. So it's a secure platform.
Okay.
We even have secure QR codes, if you like. So they actually so you can't.
And QR is quick response codes.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
the minute you signify that you want to use it, it comes alive.
Yeah, that's
Hence,
right.
QR. People say, "Oh, it's QR." Quick response.
Yeah, and we've taken this to a whole new level, as you've indicated. So not only do we do the compliance side of things, so we have a advanced visitor management solution, but we also have an incredible community and marketing system. So,
have you reached out to government to tell them that you have this platform and it can do so much? And have you ever even approached the state government and said to me, throw the mic here way, we can do much of what we need to do with this technology now, and you don't have to worry about your flawed MyKey system that's cost $1.5 billion.
Well, we've reached out to the state government.
Are they listening?
But we haven't talked to them about MyKey, I must say, but that is really interesting because people have phones and they are doing more on the Samsung, but not on the Apple. So this is a technology that should be yours. You don't have to carry cards. No. You don't have to, we're at Waven capitalising on the fact that people use their phones for identification.
Can you put a credit card on it?
Yes.
And can I then park in Port Melbourne and have the meter say, no problem, we've got you covered?
Yes.
I'll tell you why I say that, and I'm so particular. During the COVID experience, I had to go to Port Melbourne Council to pay for a new parking permit. And of course they said to me, we're closed, you have to go to St Kilda.
Oh, okay.
And guess what you can't find at St Kilda?
A car park.
A car park that will accept the digital technology. And I have a number of the digital passes. And I had to, in the middle of the COVID, I'm looking for coin.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So that's why I'm saying to you, Waven,
Yeah.
can you help me?
Well, unfortunately, you need that infrastructure there, but there are ways.
You are capable of advancing it to the next
Yeah.
level, should you wish.
That's absolutely right. So that's the exciting part of my job. You
Wow.
know, so many of the skills that I had as mayor and as a councillor over the last years are really transferable. And also coming from my background, where I had an IT company, I co-founded an IT company, a loyalty company. So I'm almost back to my roots, if you
Wow.
like. But the governance, the contacts. The leadership, all of those sort of things are really coming to the fore now in my role.
Okay. Let's reflect for a moment on what you learned in your time as the mayor. You were there for quite some time.
8 years.
That council has grown, as has the Port Melbourne that I bought into nearly 21 years ago. It's a very different Port Melbourne to the one that my father first landed in 1949.
Wow, he came on a ship.
He landed at Station Pier, and then they took them on a train in those days to Sydney, because there was a national maritime dispute, but that's another story. And when I bought into Port Melbourne in 98, 99, people said to me, why Port Melbourne? And I remember saying to Stephen Quartermain, who used to be a colleague of mine at Channel 10, because in 5 years' time you won't be able to.
Yep.
You know? And of course it's gone. And
How
continues
right
to
you
grow.
were.
Oh yeah. It stems from a discussion I had with a grand uncle of mine years ago. He said to me, if it's expensive today and it's on the water, it'll be cheap tomorrow. It'll be cheap tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I got in, and I'm very happy I did. But that whole community has changed tremendously.
It has, yeah.
We've seen vast new buildings, and the codes have changed, the density has changed, and all the biggest challenge for Port Melbourne today is making sure that your dog, you pick up your dog.
But there are just as many dogs, animals really, as children, and the number of children are
between
huge.
prams and dogs, it's hard to get around Port Melbourne.
So what used to happen is people used to come to Port Melbourne as young adults, get married or whatever, have kids and leave.
Yeah.
Now they've decided they're going to stay because they can stay in a smaller place. Yes, they don't need the big backyard, but they can travel easily to the city. So
and everything's accessible.
And my job has been to make sure that the infrastructure's there. So we have good libraries, we have lots of trees being planted in the street. The streets are cleaned, all of that.
The rebirth of the trees in Port Melbourne has been outstanding.
Yeah.
The only thing I want to do is see the street sweepers coming a little bit more frequently.
Yeah.
So if you still have any contacts,
Yeah.
let them know they need just a
They
second.
do have KPIs.
Oh,
It
good.
is, yes. So-
Step it up, Port Phillip. What's next for Bernadine Voss?
Well, right at the moment, I'm focused on Wavin, and right now we are wanting to expand internationally in a big way. So we're looking for capital, and that's the focus of my life at the moment. So
Fantastic.
got a little bit of interest.
As you touched on, you've got a tremendous bit of infrastructure, tremendous tech, and now it's about loading it and making it become even more active than it is.
That's right.
Bernadine, thank you for joining us at Informer.
Always a pleasure.
Look forward to catching up with you again, and so we can get an update.
Yeah.
And to all those friends in Port Phillip and Port Melbourne, make sure you come and sweep our streets. Okay. There you go.